Hi everyone, Deb here. I am here to do my series, which is called A Stencil a Month. Sometimes I'll do stencils and sometimes I'll do um, embossing folders. It actually should be stencil or embossing folder a month, but mostly stencils. So, I just did this haul from Newton's Nook and I got a perfect stencil. It doesn't have anything to do with cats other than cats like to go after birds. This is called the Birdhouse line stencil. So I already used pecan pie by Stampin' Up to do the bottom part, and I brought out blending brushes, but I remembered my Stampin' Up demonstrator did some flowers using the blender pens that Stampin' Up has and inks. And I thought, huh, because usually I thought these were to smooth out colored pencils, and that was it. But I have a new use for them now because I hardly ever use them. So I tried it with the pecan pie and you can see it through the stencil, right? So I'm getting ready to do the actual body of the birdhouses and I am going to use some nice bright colors. I picked Azure Afternoon because I hardly ever use that color. Granny Apple Green, I hardly ever use that either, except around Halloween actually. And Petunia Pop, which is one of the new in colors. I thought they'd be pretty together. Um, I saw a sample on their website and they had used a blue, green, and a yellow, but I'm going to use a blue, green, and a sort of a pinky purple. And then I thought for the holes, I'd use early espresso instead of black, the hole and the peg, which are here, and then the hearts. I'll have to see. The heart is a hole. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get that far. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and we'll do the rest of this together. Um, I don't know what's in these. I'm wondering if it's like Gamsol, which I had a bottle of Gamsol I bought, and it's to also smooth out colored pencil, but I went to use it one time and it all evaporated. And had the lid on in my drawer and everything, so I don't know what happened. Ooh, these might be pretty dark. So we're just gonna, and I did like using these though because unlike the brushes, I'm not wasting a whole lot of ink, right? And it does kind of smooth it out. You get a lot of ink on your brush. I'm gonna do like every third one. So new technique for you. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe you all have been doing this like forever. But I did check, and Stampin' Up! Still does have these. They call them blender pens. You get 3 of them. And I've had them since like 2018 when I first began as a demonstrator. 1, 2, 3. Um, and they're still okay. You just have to clean them off, after each color. I'm actually doing that, but I'm also using a different one. Now this one could be 2-part, but um, the stencil is tearing them a little bit. But you know what? It's okay. They're not that expensive, and they do smooth out colored pencil lines and stuff. So when I first started crafting in 2017, I had no clue what Gamsol was until I started watching other people's videos and stuff. And I can't remember where I got it, but I had to buy it online and not everywhere will ship it. And now I'm not even sure you can find it. All right, I'm going to use a different one to give that a break. I'll just flip this over. Let's close our blue. But look how concentrated that is. I hope the early espresso will show up over top of that. So we'll see. This is Granny Apple Green. Let me make sure there's no color because it looks like it was kind of pink. And you just need a little bit, really. Yeah, look at the color. It keeps a lot of color in it. You don't really need much on it at all. I don't want to wipe it off yet because, so onto this, every other one. And at first I thought, oh, they're bleeding. I don't think they are, but you know what? I don't think I have Azure Afternoon marker, but Stampin' Right marker. But the Granny Apple Green I do, and the Petunia Pop I do. I could go, go around the edges. See, oh, actually, it's pulling the paper. So it is wet, and it does pull the paper up if you do it too long. Oops. Something learned. All right, 1, 2. Is it this one? Yeah. So we'll only get 2 purple ones. So just be careful. I wouldn't recommend doing this for large areas because of the paper issue. Maybe if I circle. Okay. And just clean it off. And then we'll do the Petunia Pop. And let me get another one out that sort of looks pinkish already. I don't know if that's from the stuff in it or from, no, I think from using it. I don't know. I am not sure because I don't, like I said, I don't use them that often. Well, actually, okay. I haven't gotten as far as knowing what I want to do after I get this done. Okay. I don't want to go over it too much, but I think I need a little more there. Okay. And then this is a double one. I could actually make it 2 colors. I wonder if they did. No. It's like bluebird houses. They sometimes do that. Double them up. Some other birds out in the fields around here. Well, what fields are left around here. You can see that sometimes. So you might get a little bit smoother blend with brushes, but I think this is okay because you want some texture on birdhouses anyway, right? So now we will, as soon as I get this cleaned, see there's still some color in it there. Okay. We'll close this up and we will take this off. And I have a baby wipe I had to add water to because my baby wipes are A, almost empty, and B, kind of dry. The lid wasn't closed tight. So I just spritzed it with water. And I will just take it. There's not much on the stencil. I like that too, where the brushes it would be everywhere, right? So look how pretty that is. I mean, it's a little blotchy here. That's one I was tearing, I think, too. That one and this one. Taking this tape and seeing if I can get some of that loose up. I'll deal with that later. Okay, so now we have the holes in the birds. Just 3 birds. This one is sitting on the perch. If I put it up like that, the holes are too high up. But if I go down further, I think that's pretty good. You know what I might do for the holes? I might have changed my mind. I might use a Sharpie marker because I'm afraid the blender pen will tear these even more. So let's just use a black Sharpie. It's very possible that I have a brown Sharpie somewhere, but we'll use the black. The only thing is, it will probably stain the stencil. Oh well. I can clean it off with alcohol later. But the birds, I think I'm going to do, they did them in black too, but I am not going to. I am going to do them in A different blue, maybe boho blue. Ugh, that stunk. And yeah. And actually, I might make them be bluebirds. With a little bit of orange on their bellies. So let's, that was boho blue. And let's use the new peach pie. We'll just use the other end. Oops, that was my card, dummy. Oh, you know what? Let me, I don't really have this taped down good. Now I'm probably smearing it. There's a little bit of orange in him other places too, which will probably turn to brown. Oh well. Now we're going to have a green bird. We'll see how that came out. I don't know. Anyway, let's pull this up and see if we can get that. Oh, the markers. Yeah, I'm going to have to go over that with alcohol to get the Sharpie off. Oopsie. Little fuzzy, but you know, it's okay. Let me, actually, where's the boho blue? Let's make it a little more distinct. I really don't want a green bird. Oh well. Maybe I'll cover that one up later. Good enough. I want to fix the shape of my heart over here though. And yeah, first attempt, guys. And I'm bringing you along with me. Now, if I was going to do this again, wow, that's really, I recommend not using a Sharpie. If I was going to do this again, I would not use a Sharpie. Make sure you don't go over the blending too much unless you're using watercolor paper, which this is not. This might be 80-pound paper, actually, even. But I'm okay with it. And also do your background first. So now let's keep the boho blue out for now. And let's just do now, this one of the samples they had clouds in the sky, but I'm not gonna do that, I don't think. I'm just gonna, unless it comes naturally that way. Ugh, little piece of stuff off. And what I meant by that is because of the circular motion of the brush that maybe it would look like clouds after all. And See, this is what I mean. I should have done the background first, because now I'm kind of going over these, but I'll just do them lightly. Okay. That one is shedding. Yeah, I might have to do it again. I'll try it again with colored pencils, maybe. Because that did get a little fuzzy. I don't think I want to use the brushes, though. Let's put these away and try another one with colored pencils. So we're just doing, I don't think I'll actually do the cards today. I don't have a colored pencil in all the same colors, so we'll have to see what we have. And like, I don't have the newer set, and I know I don't have Pecan Pie, Azure Afternoon. Let's see what these have. I have the older 2 sets. I don't even know if they have 2 sets anymore. Let me get another piece of paper. I have Early Espresso, crushed curry. We'll use, there is Granny Apple Green. There is Balmy Blue. All right, so this time let's use Balmy Blue for the sky and do it ahead of time. Get some of that other one off. Balmy Blue is my preferred sky color usually, but it comes across. Did I pull out Pool Party instead? Nope, Balmy Blue. But maybe I had some other color on my brush. I don't know. We have a little bit of a stormy sky today. Yeah. It's coming, it has more green in it than it should, I think. I don't know. It's a little bit too dark. And I might put a little bit of green down at the bottom. And I might spritz it with water. I don't know if it'll react like oxides would, and like I said, I don't want to put too much on because this is not watercolor paper. Let's spritz it with water and see what happens. Just a little bit. I have my sprayer filled up actually. Move this out of the way. I'm going to hold it kind of far and just lightly mist it. It is leaving water spots. Oh, very pretty. So I'm going to let that dry and I will be back. Can you see though the spots? I think it's kind of cool. Actually, before I go, I am going to try and bring in a green brush. If I can find my green brush. Here it is. I just have them for like color. What should we use? I think we'll use Old Olive, maybe? I don't know. And I'm just going to put a little bit around the bottom. Because the birdhouses are up, you know? I could put some flowers on later too. There, just a little at the bottom. Okay, that is it for that. So I'm going to let that dry thoroughly before we try and do the coloring. In the meantime, let's pick our colors out. We're going to get Granny Apple Green to use. This is Balmy Blue. We have Bermuda Bay. That might be a pretty color. Might be too light. We have, what's this pink? Melon Mambo we can use instead of Petunia Pop. What color is this? Crushed Curry is a yellow. Yeah, maybe Crushed Curry. Or let me check Daffodil Delight in this set. Let's do that, and maybe we'll use an early espresso for the holes in the wood. Though I think there is a black. Yeah, we'll get both of them out. I can't decide, crushed curry or daffodil delight. Let me do these two colors and see. But then I don't have a blue, but I have a lot of blue in the background. Let's use daffodil delight instead of crushed curry. All right, so there's our colored pencils. Let me set these aside somewhere. And let's see if this is dry. I think it's dry enough. So let's keep going, shall we? All right, so now this is going to go at the bottom. And I'm going to make them go up a little higher than I had them the first time so that they're not actually in the grass kind of thing. All right. So now I probably need to sharpen my pencils. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try this with colored pencils and see if we like it any better. And these are watercolor. Why is that doing that? These are watercolor pencils? Oh, it's just a line. I was thinking it was a whole roof. I'm like, huh? So I could go over these with the blender pens if I decide to. I did sharpen them, so hopefully they will be enough to give us good coverage on all these houses and stuff. So, sorry I'm not chatty too much. But half the time you can't hear me anyway, right? So, I guess it doesn't matter. Sorry about that. I do have a tendency to mumble. I thought wearing this headset with microphone, like a gaming headset, would be better. But I still apparently speak terribly softly and don't realize I'm even doing it until I watch the video. And even in the video edits, I put it up to the edit volume all the way up as far as I can get it, and it still sometimes is very faint. And I don't have time to re-record everything 2 or 3 times, you know. It takes a lot to just do the videos. I do them on my laptop, but then I have to review them, edit them as much as possible. I do take some stuff out to shorten them, or just because something sounds stupid or whatever. And so that takes time, and then I save it, and that takes time, sometimes up to half an hour, depending on the length of the video. Sometimes a little longer, but usually up to half an hour. But then, after it saves, then I have to load it up to YouTube, and that takes another like 30 to 40 minutes with most of my videos. Some of them are a little shorter. If it's a very short, like 6-minute video or something, it might take 15 minutes, but still. And then I have to, you know, put all the text in and everything. And everybody that makes videos has to do this, although a lot of people do them on their phone. I tried that, but because I have an Apple iPhone and not a Mac, it's really hard to get them off onto my computer to edit, and the phone editing software just was not, that someone recommended to me, I could not get to work on my phone. Just did not work for me. Actually, I tried 2 different ones. So back to what I know. But now I don't know what's going to happen because my laptop, I got a message from Microsoft telling me that my laptop is not eligible for Windows 11 and they will no longer support Windows 10 after some date next year. I forget what it is. So I'm like, "Ugh, I need a new laptop now." I think that's just wrong, ridiculous. If the laptop's working otherwise, I don't think it's fair to have to get a new one. I'm going to call a computer doctor and talk to them. I use a particular one and they're really good. And sometimes they'll just answer my questions like that over the phone. And just ask them, is there anything that can be done to keep the laptop, or is it better just to get a new one? I don't know if they'll recommend one, but maybe based on my needs and stuff. So I might ask them that too, because these days I used to be pretty tech savvy, but I'm not anymore. Since I stopped working, and also I don't have like my IT help desk, Hang on. Some crumbs. I want to check this one. This one has like ridgy roof. Okay. I think that'll be all right. Let's take these off and see how it did. That looks pretty good, actually. I'll wipe this off with my damp baby wipe, not very wet. And all right, let's do the pretty house part. You kind of get it so it's not quite all the way up to the roof, but it's also not smack on the pole either. There's a little space there. And I'm just using low tack tape. This is actually scrapbook.com's mint tape, which I'm almost out of, but I also have post-it note tape, and that works perfectly fine. It's the same thing, except this is prettier. I don't know if that's down good though. I guess good enough. I'll have to hold it. So let's start with Melon Mambo. This time we don't have a blue, but I guess it's okay because the sky's blue, I don't know. I might go over those with blender pens just a little bit when I'm done. 1, 2, 3. My birdhouses aren't this colorful. They're just like wood, different colors of wood. A friend made them for me from a pattern that he found off somewhere. I don't know where. For bluebird houses, because they have to be certain sizes. So this is probably boring you to tears. So what I might do is cut part of this out and then just bring you back at the finish. Or when I'm going to do the Gamsol stuff. I think we'll do yellow next, I guess. Yeah, let's do the yellow next. All right, I'm going to shut up and I'll just speed this part up and see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring back a blender pen. I'm just going to use one and smooth out those colors a little bit. It actually kind of removes some of the color. I don't know if it's really doing what I wanted it to do. Usually it makes it smoother, but this still looks really streaky to me. Maybe because it's such a small area? I don't know. Or it, like, remove too much color there. But or maybe because I had color, and I don't know if you noticed, I brought in Bermuda Bay for the bottom part of this house. And now it's Bermuda Bay mixed with Granny Apple Green. Yeah, they actually remove some of the color. So, not sure I love that. All right, well, I think I kind of shouldn't have done that, but let's take these off and see. This is an experiment. That's okay. It kind of looks like textured wood now, so we'll give that a second while I clean off my stencil a little bit. Doesn't take much with, you could, I probably ought to wet this a little more, but get in the grooves there. All right, so now we just have to do the holes with the bird, and this bird sits on the roof, and that one is flying. And we're going to use early espresso for the holes. You see, I have to get alcohol, and hopefully that'll take the Sharpie off from before. Early espresso from doing the roofs is not very, I could make the hearts red, but they are birdhouses, so we won't do that this time. Oh, there's a bird down here on the perch, and I think I missed that the first time. I did. I might have to do that over. Oops. Sorry, my phone is binging me. And it's not anything important. It's just a notice from Apple about something or other. I think they have like Apple News now or something, and I really don't. But right now, most of it is political stuff, and I really am trying to not read most of that. And I got so annoyed with getting text messages from various political parties and stuff that I just said stop to all of them, and finally I actually reported one or two as junk, but I don't know, they probably have permission to just use a different number and try it again. I'm not sure. All right, so the birds, let's use the Bermuda Bay. And I'll see, I think there's a pumpkin pie pencil. There is a balmy blue in here, but that's what I used in the background, so I don't want to use it again. I should have made the beak orange too, huh? Maybe they used the black birds because you can see the post through the bird. The bird is invisible. And my Bermuda Bay is very, I didn't sharpen that one because I didn't know I was going to use it at first. Anyway, I'm using a manual pencil sharpener. I have an electric one, but it's not in this room. All right, I need to see. I thought I saw pumpkin pie in here. Yep. Or, yeah, I'll use pumpkin pie for its belly. Their bellies. And maybe their beak, which I should have done there. Okay. And one more. All right, let's see how we're looking. And then I think that'll be it for today, and I'll come back at some point and show you finished cards. Oh, I like that one. Okay, so the first one was with inks and these blender pens, but I should have used watercolor paper for that, and I did the background after the fact, which I don't really care for. That would be all right on watercolor paper. I don't recommend doing it on 80-pound cardstock, or maybe even 110 pounds cardstock would be better. This one I did the background first with Balmy Blue and Old Olive. I spritzed it with a little water. I used watercolor pencils. This one is not straight. I missed a little bit there. So we'll just come in and do the edges a little better. That's because my one is not, my Bermuda Bay is not sharp enough. This was Melon Mambo. It looks more like Petunia Pop because it's going over the blue in the background, I guess. And maybe I wouldn't use the blender pens again on this paper. But otherwise, I think it's okay. The yellow, I might have to see if I have an eraser and erase some. All right, everyone, that is it for my Stencil-a-Month. I'll be making a card or something with this one. This one might just go in my journal as a first attempt at using a stencil kind of thing. All right, I've caught my personal journal, my yellow spring journal up. I've got it up to date. Missing one thing I wanted to put in there. I'm going to clean my stencil and I will see you again another time. But this is the Stencil-a-Month with Newton's Nook Designs Birdhouse line stencil, which I bought on May 17th. Okay, take care. Hugs, love, and peace.